All right, does the thought of ordering wine at an upscale restaurant scare you?
Well, it doesn't have to. St. Pete-based sommelier Jackie Ish joins us with tips on how to pair wine with your favorite foods. And just since we've been talking, I think going to give us some other tips too, because you are a resource. Welcome so much to our show today.
Well, thank you so much for having me. It's great to be here.
Before we even started, we were like, John, that's a great tip. That's a great tip. Yes. So I mean, is that pretty common for people to be a little overwhelmed? Your menu, by the way, at Sea Salt, pretty massive for the wine list and the drink menu.
You know, I run the program and sometimes it overwhelms me. It's a lot to take in.
And a lot to take in when people sit down and try to figure out what they want to do. And people don't ever want to look, goofy with their order, and they always want to order something that seems, intelligent and things. But the first tip you say, don't be scared to ask for someone like you.
Don't be scared, because what I would say is the days of that kind of stuffy, uptight sommelier, those are gone.
Okay.
And if you go into a place that has one of those folks, then you might want to think about where you're spending your dollars, because I'm here to help.
Okay.
I want to enhance your dining experience, and I want to make it effortless. That's why I'm here.
What is your thought on actually tasting before deciding on a glass too?
Well, I think it's
feel bad.
I know.
I don't want to inconvenience.
No, it's a great idea, because the fact of the matter is, whether you're going bottle or whether you're going by the glass.
So even by the glass, you can ask.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. It's a great way to guide the beverage professional wherever you're choosing to dine. We can kind of, it's a good barometer for us. Okay, you didn't care for that. What did you like about it? Was there anything that you liked about it? Did you absolutely hate it? Well, good. Then it still tells me which direction to go with your beverage choice.
So should we do that even though we're not working with a sommelier like yourself, and just kind of put that out there at a restaurant, not feel ashamed?
Absolutely. Anyone that comes to your table in any type of establishment that has an established wine program, their staff should have some training behind them. There's always going to be a program, hopefully, and they can guide you.
So let's talk about the pairing specifically, because should you decide what you're eating first and then have that help kind of decide your drink choice?
It's helpful.
Okay.
Like for us, for example, we have a very large seafood program at Sea Salt in St. Petersburg. We have our roasted whole fish. We have a huge oyster program. The best thing to do, you're absolutely right, decide what you're going to have, and then we can kind of guide you. But the myth of white wine with, white meat and red wine with red meat, it doesn't necessarily hold true. So it's always best to ask. And we can help you.
Well, and I will say, I know you've brought a variety. You even brought, like you said, a mini champagne glass, or what is it, half bottle?
That's a half bottle.
Half bottle is what we call it there, champagne. Because Valentine's Day yesterday, maybe people are still looking forward to this weekend. What are some rules of thumbs when you do go into a restaurant and you see a wine menu as extensive as yours?
Well, don't be afraid. First of all, open it up. You have to start there. And I always laugh with the staff. I'm kind of like a shark sometimes moving through the dining room. When I see that big red book open, I know how overwhelming it is. And I just go over, I introduce myself. I never say I'm the sommelier. I just say, I'm Jackie. Let me know if you have any questions, and just, let that person put you at ease, and they'll guide you through. Are you thinking about a red or a white? What are you thinking about having for dinner?
Is that basic 101, red or white? Is that where you start and then branch from there?
I think it's easier for the guest.
Okay.
To, like, what do you drink? I'll ask folks, what do you drink when you're at home? When you go out with your significant other or whoever, what do you generally drink? And again, that'll help point me in the right direction.
You said even if it's not even necessarily wine, just kind of what your palate is, what you like generally.
Absolutely. Maybe you're not a wine drinker. Maybe you're more of a craft beer drinker. Beer pairs great with food. Just again, it's the same flavor profiles fall into place as they do with wine. Maybe a craft cocktail. Maybe you want to start out with a martini or a Negroni or, something like that. We can point you in that direction.
And I'm curious, I always tend to go, quote unquote, to like the house wines, or I ask, well, what do you have? Explain house wines. How do those kind of work? Is that just up to opinion based on the restaurant, or what do people need to keep in mind when being that person like myself?
That's a great question. I mean, we have a beautiful By the Glass program. We're fortunate. We have quite an extensive cellar. And yes, you do kind of try to gear the wine selections toward your menu. But that being said, you want to cover a broad spectrum as well. So again, don't be afraid to ask for a sample. That's going to point someone like me in the right direction. And you might try something you've never had before and think, wow, I didn't even know I like that. And that's a great opportunity. We pour you know, over 20 wines by the glass, and you can sample any one of them.
And I think Valentine's Day special celebrations, this is the time to do that, right?
If not now, when?
Yeah, right.
Oh, good stuff. You've got to come back. This was a great time.
Started, we're like, you got to come back.
Thank you so much, Jackie.
Thank you.
All right.